distinguished members of the royal family, His Excellency Ahmed Al-Saidi, former Minister of Health, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, namaskar, assalamu alaikum. At the outset, I wish to thank Mr. Nishat Vadiyarat, founder and CEO of the Arabian Stories, for inviting me to this distinguished forum. It's a privilege indeed to address the TAS Conclave 2022, deliberating on Oman at 52 aspirations, ambitions, approaches. In its second edition, the TAS Conclave has already become an important annual forum in Muscat, fostering dialogue and deliberation among key policymakers and leaders, and indeed promoting cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, as we emerge from the pandemic and enter a new era, uncertain and promising at the same time, the world is looking for new opportunities. With strong fundamentals and wise leadership, Oman stands at the cusp of a new phase of socio-economic progress, a new takeoff point towards His Majesty's salutary Vision 2040. At this conclave, I wish to present a unique opportunity for realizing the aspirations, ambitions, and approaches for Oman at 52 and beyond. It's a 1.3 billion strong opportunity. It's a $3.5 trillion opportunity. It's an opportunity called India. Ladies and gentlemen, in September this year, as the news came in that India had surpassed the UK to become the 5th largest economy in the world, most people didn't see it as a surprise. Instead, there was a sound of inevitability to it. As the world goes through a turbulent time, India today is the lone bright spot on the horizon. Just 10 years ago, India's GDP was the 11th largest in the world. Today, it is the 5th. And in another 5 years, India is expected to become the world's 3rd largest economy, surpassing Japan and Germany, and have the 3rd largest stock market by 2030. Morgan Stanley predicts that Indian GDP could more than double from the $3.5 trillion today to surpass $7.5 trillion by 2031, by which time India's share of global exports will also double. In another 10 years, the Bombay Stock Exchange alone is expected to have a market capitalization of over $10 trillion. Morgan Stanley also estimates that from next year, India will only be one of 3 global economies to generate more than $400 billion worth of economic output annually, rising to over $500 billion after 2028. I could go on with many more such metrics, statistics that clearly show how the India story will define global growth going forward. But let me come back to why the India story is important in the context of Oman. For Oman, India presents not 1, not 2, not 3, but in my opinion, 5 distinct opportunities. An investment opportunity, a trade opportunity, a digital transformation opportunity, an energy transition opportunity, and a tourism opportunity. Looking at investments first, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and similarly, an example perhaps is worth several claims. Just yesterday, I was privileged to be present at a ceremony announcing a new $3.5 billion investment in Dukum by Jindal Shadid, who is also one of our sponsors today, for a green hydrogen-ready steel plant with a capacity of 5 million tons per annum. Jindal Shadid is, of course, no stranger to Oman, and their steel plant in Sohar is already this country's biggest, estimated to have added $5.5 billion to Omani GDP in the last 5 years. Jindal is just one of the many investors from India that are keen to come to Oman, tapping into the huge potential here for renewable energy. Already, Oman is home to over 6,000 India-Oman joint ventures with estimated investments of over $7.5 billion. As Oman now seeks to double on the priorities of Oman Vision 2040, tapping investments from a capital-rich Indian corporate sector could provide it with the resources to make this vision a reality. Likewise, a rising Indian economy with a proactive government policy is looking for investments, and Omani investments, this presents a very compelling case. The world is making a beeline for India, and surely Oman should also scale up its engagement with the most dynamic economy in the world. Second opportunity, trade. India's merchandise exports last year crossed $400 billion for the first time. Renewed energy in discussions on FTAs, free trade agreements, has given new momentum to India's trade links. A landmark India-UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, or CEPA, signed earlier this year, has now galvanized India-GCC discussions on a region-wide FTA. We welcome this because the potential for India-Oman trade is huge. To give you an example, India-Oman two-way trade in 2021-22 was 90% higher than the previous year, touching nearly 10 billion. And this momentum is continuing. This year, in the first 6 months of this year, our bilateral trade is already higher than the annual figures recorded for 2021, 2020, 2019, and 2018. So, with India's huge consumer market, we offer a ready market for anything that Oman can produce. And bear in mind, we are only 3 days of shipping away. India has also been a reliable supplier to Oman, and the recent case of wheat supplies, when this came under stress after the Ukraine conflict, and we came in and we managed to ensure that supplies resumed, is a case in point. And expanding imports of good quality, affordable product from India will, we believe, not only enrich the Omani trade basket, but also benefit the Omani people. This is a low-hanging fruit. Third opportunity, digital transformation. Those who have traveled to India in recent months and years would have surely noticed what can only be called the Great Indian Digital Revolution, not unlike the Great Indian Rope Trick. To give you an example of what is happening in India, take these figures for example. In 2021, 40% of all real-time digital payments worldwide took place in India. This was 48 billion transactions. It was 3 times that of China and more than 6 times that of US, Canada, UK, France, and Germany combined. That is the scale at which we are talking about. India's Unified Payments Interface, or what is called UPI, processed payments worth more than $1 trillion in financial year 22. And in March this year, India crossed the milestone of 5 billion, that's a B, not an M, 5 billion monthly transactions on this platform. Naturally, India's digital transformation is a huge opportunity for India-Oman cooperation. And in this context, we are very pleased that the recent signing of a landmark MOU between the Central Bank of Oman and the National Payments Corporation of India has helped lay the foundation of this opportunity. Fourth opportunity, energy transition. A key term you hear every time you talk about Oman's economy. As the world hurtles towards a climate catastrophe, India and Oman have both taken bold steps to decarbonize their economies and build a green future. India, by the way, is the only G20 country to achieve its Paris targets 9 years before time. Now we have taken on enhanced targets in line with our own commitment to a green future. Today, India is a market leader when it comes to solar and wind technology, driving down prices of deployment. Our companies are scouring opportunities worldwide for investments. And it is no surprise that the first company to invest in Dukum on green hydrogen is an Indian company, and that is not Jindal, by the way. This, therefore, is in perfect synergy with Oman's ambitions to emerge as a green hydrogen powerhouse, and today evening I will have the privilege of participating in Oman's Green Hydrogen Summit, where several Indian companies are participating. So this clearly can be the new chapter of India-Oman cooperation. Fifth, and not the least, tourism. Incredible India, what we call the tourism megastore, continues to attract Omani tourists, and we want this to happen. But much less known is the fact that Incredible India is also a major outbound tourist generator. Perhaps you don't know, but India sends out over 26 million tourists abroad every year. India's young and the restless are imaginative and adventurous tourists, and they are now familiar sights all across the world. I was just talking to Mr. Mohammed Al-Kharousi, who came back from Maldives recently, and if you were to be in Maldives, you will find that the resorts are full of Indians, which is a good thing. The Indian outbound tourism, therefore, presents a massive opportunity for Oman. With just 2 hours of flying time separating Muscat and Mumbai, which, by the way, is less than what you take to travel from Mumbai to Delhi. A vast cultural and culinary connects that joins us. It's only natural that we can attract more Indian tourists to come to Oman and contribute to the Omani economy. Ladies and gentlemen, India has been a close friend of Oman in its renaissance of the past 52 years, and India is now eager to partner with Oman to speed up its renewed renaissance in the next 52. We believe, and I present to you, that India is an opportunity for Oman. India is an opportunity for the future, an opportunity for Indians and the kind people of Oman to join hands together to script a better and brighter future for our people. Let's make it happen. Thank you.